Sarsour.
27 minutes before the hour, Linda Sarsour joins us now. As always on these Tuesdays, we're also folks up on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Make It Plain, and we're also on YouTube, youtube.com/Make It Plain. Linda, assalamu alaikum, sister.
Alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm okay. Let's start this way in defense of another woman. Your reaction to ESPN suspending Jemele Hill.
I mean, you already know where I stand on that, and the Women's March has been very clear. But it's an absolute despicable attempt on the part of ESPN to silence the women. I guess ESPN can't handle a strong black woman that actually has an opinion about things that are happening in our country, things that are happening in the actual field that she's an expert in, which is sports, and on the football field. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous and outrageous.
Yeah. And I mean, what she said was nothing. I mean, there was nothing she said that offended. What amazes me, Linda, and a caller earlier tried to compare it to the firing of Kurt Schilling from ESPN. He made discriminatory, transphobic comments. Jemele is decrying discriminatory behavior on the part of the NFL. You can't punish somebody for saying someone else's discrimination is wrong. She didn't say or do anything discriminatory.
She's a black woman. That's all. That's all there is to it. The additional factor that is really what comes at play. And people will say we're race baiting. Stop playing the race card. But time and time again, Mark, it's not that we're playing the race card. It's what's being dealt to us. There's no other reason why Jemele would be suspended right now. There's nothing that she said that was controversial. Being part of a larger national conversation on race and racism and what's happening on the football field right now in light of the Take the Knee and the Colin Kaepernick. There's nothing controversial about that. It's a national conversation. Right. It's not that she sparked it. She's joining a conversation. So to tell her that she is not able to do that just because she works at ESPN, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Folks, call ESPN. We're asking you to call them. Say you stand with Jemele Hill, 860-766-2000, 860-766-2000. Also, tweet at ESPN and let them know hashtags that you stand with Jemele Hill. That's what this is really all about, and that's what needs to happen. Has the Women's March, or does the Women's March have any plans, Linda Sarsour, to reach out to Jemele directly?
I mean, we've been trying to get her to come to the women's convention, which is happening this month, October 27th to the 29th, and she's pretty, her scheduling, and honestly, it could also be, and this is not obviously guaranteed or confirmed information, but it could also be that she doesn't want to come to our convention because she's afraid to be in a situation that she found herself in, not even saying anything that controversial. But, we put out a statement. It's been picked up by the media outlets, letting her know that the Women's March Network, we stand with her. We're here to support her. We're also asking our folks to call ESPN, tweet at ESPN to let them know that we stand by Jemele, and we will not allow and continue to allow for women to be silenced at this time. Right now we are in a movement that is led by women, and Jemele has a very important platform that she's using wisely and courageously, and we believe she should continue to do that.
866-99-SIRIUS. The Women's March convention coming up, folks, at the end of the month in Detroit. The theme, Linda, is reclaiming our time.
That's right. Reclaiming our time.
Tell us some.
We have a great, I'm really inspired. We have a great lineup. We have about close to 3,000 people, majority of whom will be women, who are coming to the Women's March convention, and they'll be held in Detroit. Anywhere from, talking about or skills building around voter registration, voter engagement, how to build power in 2018, to discussing all sorts of issues from the most directly impacted communities. Our program is over 60% women of color who will be sharing their stories, but also training and providing skills and resources for new activists to take back to their home communities. We have Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who's going to bless us and the theme is obviously named after her, or in her honor for the courage that she continues to show in the face of this administration. We have a social justice concert on Saturday night. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to show what happens when women get together and organize. We can do really inspirational, motivational things, but really, this convention is more about what happens after the convention, and we hope that what people will see is folks just going back with a fistful of instructions to go back and build power, and so that we can win in 2018 and prove to people who the real majority is.
This is a working convention, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a working convention. And the idea is, and even on Sunday, we're going to be doing state caucuses, getting people together in rooms with folks from their own states, network, meet each other, declare that you will work together when you get back to your home states. And I think we're going to start those plans there. And we hope to see impact in 2018. We have to, Mark. We have no choice but to show those who are in opposition to us that progressives and people who stand for dignity and respect and justice and equality are the ones that have to come on top in 2018, or honestly, we just pack our bags and go home, because we really need to start working and building power.
The Women's March Convention, as you heard Linda Sarsour say 20 minutes before the hour, that 3,000 women, upwards of 3,000 women will be in attendance. You may register yourself, womensconvention.com. Ladies and gentlemen, 3,000 women plus one dude, that'll be me. Okay.
Actually, I can't say right now, Mark, because I'm not allowed to. There will be an exclusive about this, but there actually might be two guys.
Oh, really? Two dudes.
And we don't announce a guy. Two dudes. Now, there's actually a couple more than two, maybe like three.
Okay, three of us.
But there's a great dude. You're a fabulous dude, but there's a great dude who will be announcing that's going to be coming to the convention, also, who wants to be with us.
Okay,
so, surprise.
Okay, well, we'll make room for that too. So me, a couple other dudes, that's it. But but no, folks, we, especially the women, it's a convention for you. We will be there covering it, and that's really the role that I'll be playing, because we want to, bring this to the audience, as much of it as we can, and have people to really hear what's going on. So those of you who can't necessarily be there, at least be able to participate in some of it, vis-a-vis Sirius XM. Linda, also there's this issue. There's another prominent person in media that has been charged with sexual misconduct, and that's Harvey Weinstein. Now, the right is demanding that those of us on the left denounce him. I didn't know we ever lauded him to begin with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and we're supposed to apologize for him. First of all, nobody really knew. A lot of people just found out about this for the first time. And it was pretty swiftly addressed. He's been fired. It goes without saying that behavior is denounced. But what I have a problem with is those raising that issue to defend Trump and O'Reilly and others who still really haven't been punished. O'Reilly lost his show, but he's still making guest appearances on Fox. And Harvey Weinstein ain't in the White House, Linda. He's not the president. Exactly. The president of the United States is a sexual predator, admittedly, and nothing's been done about that.
I mean, they used to say basket of deplorables. I call them a basket of hypocrites is what they are. I mean, and we're not out here to defend Harvey Weinstein or even Bill Cosby or anybody. Any man who is accused of any type of sexual assault, especially when the evidence is pretty clear. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, that man needs to be denounced. And the fact that they are always putting us up against the wall, as if we wouldn't already do that without them telling us to, but they continue to defend a man who, on video, we heard the audio, we've met the women. Like, I don't know what else has to happen for us to understand that we have a man that's in the White House that has sexually assaulted women, that has said some despicable, outrageous things about women, calling women fat, calling women nasty, grabbing women's genitalia. Like, the fact that people still defend that, but want us, even though we already are doing it, and condemning other men who engage in this type of activity is just a bunch of hypocrisy. So everybody needs to just go home, let the law take its course. Harvey Weinstein's been fired. I saw him writing letters to his friends, telling his friends to support them. I don't support people like that. I don't care if they're Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, no party. I don't care. It's just really hypocritical.
And frankly, I mean, there have been consequences for Harvey's behavior, for Bill Cosby's behavior. Harvey's been fired. Bill Cosby show is finished. And Trump, on the other hand, has been rewarded with the Oval Office.
I mean, the guy got the most powerful position in the world. Like, he's not just the CEO of McDonald's. I mean, the guy is the most powerful man in the world, and they continue to defend him on every word, on anything he does. The man can do no wrong in their eyes. But the minute somebody else does something and they think and assume that they happen to be a Democrat or happen to be quote unquote from the left or whatever other categories they have made into one box, immediately we're supposed to be on the defense. You don't need me to be on the defense. I'm quite comfortable calling out sexual predators. Like, that's not a problem. But the fact that they continue to defend this president, not just for the fact that he's a sexual predator, but a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe, the way he's treated our American citizens in Puerto Rico. I mean, the man every single day does something that is absolutely outrageous that we should all be criticizing him for. I don't care what side of the political aisle you on. You know what, Mark? What's crazy about this whole thing is that people forget that even within our own families, like sometimes I don't agree with my own father, right? Like, we have debates about things. The fact that this man can do no wrong, that we can't sometimes admit as, you know, supporters of a particular candidate or president, and say, you know what, this time the man took it a little too far. Yeah. He's the president, but I got to criticize. They do not criticize him at all, and it's absolutely outrageous.
Right. 866-99 Serious. Linda, also, we're hearing more and more about these ads on social media, Facebook, Google, Twitter, fake accounts, bots, and what have you. There's even a story specific to the Islamic Center in Houston, when in May of last year, people demonstrated against it, held up White Lives Matter signs and all of that. It's coming out that that whole thing was organized and operated out of what's called a troll factory in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah, I read multiple articles, including one out of the Daily Beast, where basically Russians were buying ads on Facebook to basically sow division. And in fact, they were impersonating Muslim groups. There was this one group called something like United Muslims of America. And people kept always asking me, do you know this group? I said, I never heard of them. There's no such thing. I'm a national Muslim organizer. I know every national Muslim organization in the country. Whether I agree with them or not, I know them. And I know that they exist. Right. The fact that we were watching these pop-ups, and I saw them actually myself with my own eyes during the elections, I keep saying, like, who are these people? And it turns out, we've come to find out, it was the Russians. So the fact that people are still trying to debate whether or not the Russians had any play in our elections, I think it's quite clear that they did. And now we continue to get proof after proof, including them using Muslims and Muslim communities and using fake Muslim groups to sow division during the elections to fire up Donald Trump supporters, which I believe I'm not saying that was the only reason, but social media, unfortunately, is a big influencer in the way that we see things. And apparently Russia was involved in that. And that's just a fact. Yeah, yeah. And so, folks, and I've been saying to people, you know, be sure that the folk you are debating with and influenced by on your social media are real people. You know, because I found myself over the past year having arguments with people and watching people have arguments with people that didn't make any sense. You know, especially when they won't let go. Like, you make a point and they still keep debating you. That might be somebody in a troll factory in Russia, y'all. That I'm just letting you know that. And sometimes when we watch certain people get drowned in, you know, like replies, for example, on Twitter. Yes, of course, it's normal people. I mean, not normal people, but people who are criticizing you and maybe tearing you up because something you said you don't like. But if you look very carefully, and I've had people in my digital security team who've looked, you'll sometimes see people with this, like, 45, 50 replies with almost the same exact response.
Yeah.
What happens also with the bots is that they have these systems where all they do is one click and boom, 50 accounts go out with the same message. So the social media recently, and I would say in the past at least year, it's like a cesspool, and it's full of bots and fake accounts. And if you look, oftentimes they'll have 6 followers, 8 followers, 9 followers, and then your whole Twitter will be drowning in people coming after you, and you think that the whole country is against you, and in fact what it is a bunch of like robotic accounts is what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Trump has tweeted this morning, folks, on Jemele Hill. He tweeted just a couple of hours ago, with Jemele Hill at the mic, it is no wonder ESPN ratings have tanked. In fact, tanked so badly, it is the talk of the industry. That's what he's tweeting about Jemele Hill this morning.
I mean, I don't even know what to say sometimes, Mark. Like, it's the president of the United States of America, and he's out here worrying about what the latest controversy is. Like, he's People Magazine or something. You know what I mean? Like, go do your job. We have I've been watching Facebook Live videos of friends of mine who went to Puerto Rico because they believed in their heart. Like, people like Puerto Rican activist Rosa, you know her, Rosa Clemente.
Yes.
And I'm watching Facebook Lives, and I'm watching people who are talking about their family members died, and the aid ain't getting where it needs to get to, and it's like a crisis situation.
Yeah.
The water's not clean, and you have to boil the water, but what if you don't have gas to boil your water? How are you supposed to drink the water? I mean, the things that are happening in a place like Puerto Rico are outrageous, and here's our president worrying about what Jemele Hill said. Like,
yeah.
Outrageous.
And disrespectful to Puerto Rico, throwing those towels.
Oh my goodness.
Saying the people loved it. They asked me to throw the towels. I mean, who does that? I mean, we're taught as children, when your parent asks you to bring them something, we always want to throw it. But you say, don't throw, that's rude. You don't throw stuff at people. He's down there throwing paper towels.
I was literally just going to say that before you said. I was going to say that I know this is not exclusive to my culture, but as an Arab, my mom would have smacked me upside my head if I ever. And mind you, it's a paper towel, so technically, you know, if you threw it, you ain't really hurting nobody. But the fact that you're going to a people who are in crisis, and who you know are in need, and you are the president of the United States of America, you ain't just some ordinary volunteer or some kid that just showed up to help out. You're the president, and all cameras and eyes on you. And he still don't care. That's the thing about it, is that he knows that that everybody's watching. The whole world wants to see his reaction when he gets there, and he still acts like the guy just has no class. It's like almost
none.
He's a man with a lot of money and no class and no respect. It's crazy.
Or supposed a lot of money. We really don't know how much money he has, because you notice we were just talking the other day. Brenda and I were talking, Linda. You know, he claimed he wasn't going to take the salary. He's taking the salary from the White House.
Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah. Right.
People with money always want more money. That's been my personal experience.
Yeah. Unless the IRS is garnishing it. That might be he might be taking it, and the IRS may be garnishing it because he hadn't paid his taxes. That's my other theory, but
maybe that's his annual payment to the IRS.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure you heard him. Did you hear him over-pronouncing Puerto Rico the other day?
Yeah, I saw this meme, Mark, that I thought was the most hilarious thing. He said, "Why do the Puerto Ricans keep pronouncing my name wrong? My name is Donald Trump, not Mary Cohn. Get it? Maricon." But anyway, it's a bad word in Spanish. But I thought it was.
I love it. I love it.
It was the most hilarious thing that I saw, and I bet you he still wouldn't know what that word meant anyway.
No, he doesn't know. It's over his head. So anyway, folks, he's tweeting at Jemele Hill this morning, and God knows what other crazy stuff. He's tweeting about this new book, The Art of the Donald, written by Christopher Bedford. Of course, that's self-promotion. Here's him. He's also tweeting this morning, why is the NFL getting massive tax breaks while at the same time disrespecting our anthem, flag, and country? Change tax law. Now he's attacking the NFL. So the NFL is now against the flag. He doesn't even know. When he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't even know who to be mad at.
he's just inconsistent. But you know what? I'm about to agree with him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we come together, because he's right. That we've brought this up too. The fact that the NFL is basically they're a not-for-profit. They're tax. They're technically almost tax exempt and have a lot of perks from the IRS based on the way of the structure that they're like created by it. I feel like maybe that's the place that we join some forces, because it's true. Here they are, billionaires, and the way that they're treating the players, the rhetoric coming out of the NFL, what they did to Colin Kaepernick, like I agree. They should be a for-profit business, and we should be treating them as such.
Any updates on Colin? By the way, Linda, are we any closer to having our demand met of him signing with the team?
I mean, we're pretty deep into the season right now, and I know that Colin continues to wake up every day and practice and work out and ensure that he stays in the tip-top shape that he needs, so he could be ready at any moment to be signed. But he's also out here in the streets in Harlem, visiting organizations that provide services to Black and brown young people. So his spirits are still high. He still has hope. And honestly, you've seen, folks have been doing whatever they can. The pressure's been up. This conversation has continued. Literally, this whole NFL, social justice, Colin Kaepernick conversation has consistently been going on. Every day we're still having the conversation. I don't know personally in my heart if it's going to require somebody in the NFL. It has to be an owner who's going to say, you know what, wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to be that person that 50 years from now, people say, look, that was a hero. That was a man who stood up and said, you know what, I'm going to do the right thing. And people know, and I know those owners know that the right thing to do is to sign Colin Kaepernick. He plays better than a quarter of those quarterbacks that are like stumbling on that field. And there's some that have gotten hurt. And I know that Colin Kaepernick deserves that slot, but it's going to require a person with some moral courage. And that's really what it is. It's not about, this has nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick. This is in the hands of NFL owners. Which one of them is going to emerge as the person with the moral courage to sign him?
Women'sConvention.com. If you haven't registered, register. All roads lead to Detroit, October 27th through the 29th. Don't meet us there. Beat us there. Women's March co-chair, Linda Sarsour, our very special guest. Linda, love you. Love to the family. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
All right. Take care now. All right, folks. That'll do it for today. If all minds are clear, it has been made plain. He made this world for us to live in.